So uncivilized.
Greetings and welcome to the 1/6 Scale Man proudly presents another episode of You Know What It Is, man. This is Uncivilized Scoundrels Thursday night. And if you know we're here, then we are here talking about one of the greatest shows that Disney Plus has ever given us right now. And it's, you know, we're living in a level of greatness for Star Wars content. May the 4th is this weekend, so we're going to be celebrating that. I know people are happy about that. It's just a lot of good things that have happened. Thanks to this guy down here, I got my Galen Urso that arrived earlier during the week, and it is an incredible figure, bro. Like, it just to have father and daughter in my collection, bro. It just means so much. So I definitely appreciate that, man.
I listen.
Yeah, bro.
I knew that's what the plan was, and I knew that would make everything complete for you. That's why
bro.
About all of that when I got it for you. So you know that.
So cohesive, bro. So cohesive, and I'm definitely happy about it, man. So I definitely appreciate you for doing it, man. As always,
yes, sir.
As always, man. We got X in the building, bro. What's going on with you, man? How you doing?
Ooh, well, if we're talking about recent pickups, brace yourselves, everyone, because well, what am I gonna say? It's over, Lael. I have the high ground. You underestimate my power.
Wow.
Press X pulled the high ground out on him.
Wow. Ooh. Like you really did pull the high ground out on us, bro. So it came in today.
Well, my friend, I just met up with her today. She got back from Japan a hot minute ago, and so I met up with her at the comic book shop, and you know, she delivered the assets, but she also brought me this, which I'm like, how did you get this from the Dark Side event?
Yeah,
and she's just like in a pile. So I just picked one up. I'm like, I don't think these are. You're supposed to be picking these up.
But it definitely looks good. Definitely looks good, bro. I know you're happy right now. In all your glory, bro. All the glory is there, bro. I know you're extremely happy about that. What can I say?
I'm happy. At the same time, I'm kind of like, you know, it shouldn't have been this difficult. It really shouldn't have been this difficult. There's the amount of drama surrounding what's that line from Lord of the Rings? To think that we would suffer so much fear and doubt over so small a thing or something like that.
Bro.
Yeah, and you know they're going to turn around and they're going to give us more Anakin Skywalker. I mean, they'd be crazy not to. It's just the way that they've gone about it. Yeah. And you slap
that's what I have an issue with. I have a big issue of the way all this is panning out.
Yeah,
you got figures coming out that was supposed to be exclusive, but now they're not exclusive. It's an exclusive of the exclusive that was supposed to be exclusive, but it's not an exclusive.
So, and it's my thing. Like, why? What was the point? Like, what was the point?
Exactly. What was the point over that?
They released Grogu, and then they basically released Vader today.
Exactly.
So, which means they're going to definitely release that. Now, they won't probably release like the exclusive edition for the Stormtrooper, but they're still going to release.
It just won't have the kimono on it.
It won't have the kimono. That's what I'm saying. Like the kimono, we won't get that.
Yeah.
So that's the only thing. But they're still going to give us the Stormtrooper, and then of course, you know, Maul and whatever else, small batch of Vader. You know, of course, like the dark side. You know, Vader apprentice.
And like I said, I wasn't on last week when you guys were on Wednesday on Say What, but to do what they did with the range trooper, it was like, why didn't you just do that from the beginning?
Instead
of talking about it was exclusive 5 months ago. It's like, it's ridiculous, man. I don't know what they're doing.
Yeah, how they did this really didn't make any sense because you created so much of a fiasco, even with the exclusive release and people waiting for like the, to get in line in the queue and stuff like that. It was reckless. But this is what they do, and I come to expect this.
Like a famous man once said, "You're playing with my emotions, Smokey."
Yeah, you are, bro, and that's exactly what they did. Hey, in all her festive glory, and I see you got look at that Coruscant.
Yeah. Oh yeah, look! Oh, she at the party. Oh,
yeah, she got the whole party right there.
Yeah, there it is. Right, I like that.
Look, absolutely amazing.
Thank you so much, gentlemen. First of all, it's always so wonderful to be here with you all talking about Star Wars. As you know, there's nothing I enjoy more. And of course, everybody, I just love these episodes because they're letting the glamour of the Corsican nightlife flow. And it's wonderful. And I grow so tired and weary of all the balls night after night, day after day. So Mary, are you kidding me? I love this stuff. I love it so much. I can hardly talk about all of it. Thank you, Star Wars, for giving us the glamour, the beauty, the mystique, the intrigue. I just love all of this. Honestly, would somebody please get Clea a ball gown? Come on, guys.
Yeah. Like literally, and I wanted to kind of before we go headstrong in on this, because like I said, I did want to kind of talk about some things here because we're getting here's the thing. I refuse to kind of let the jargon sway me, because the most important thing that we're getting, and I think for me, and I never thought that I would be so involved with the political aspect of what we're seeing within this particular universe and how they're doing Andor, because we always wanted to know, and this is what I'm saying, we always wanted to know the machinations and the workings behind the scenes when it comes to the Empire. If you want to see the threat, then you have to see the threat and development in everything. You know what I mean? In every aspect of it. And I think that that's the incredible part of what they're doing. Before I actually do that, though, we got to bring this guy in. We got to bring Vendog in the building. What's going on with you, bro? Hey, bro. We just got back from seeing Thunderbolt, bro.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was dope. Yeah. It was dope.
It was very refreshing.
It was definitely
good to hear that.
Yeah. It was a solid film.
It was a solid film. It was
absolutely solid.
Yes.
Great decisions. I was very happy with it, and I've been vocal about some of their decisions of late, and this felt like a course correct. So
yeah,
I see why people are excited for it.
Well, without any spoilers, there was a huge course correct in the very beginning of the movie. So
I know, right? It's like okay, all right, yeah,
we gonna go with it.
Well,
we're here now. We're here now. Let it go. Yeah, that's it. So I was shocked, but I was like, okay, yeah. But anyway, man, yeah, definitely. What I was beginning with here, Vinny, I was talking to everybody because I was like, what we're getting here in Andor with these, actually, I would even want to say just compounding all 6 episodes that we've gotten so far. Thunderbolts, friends, is crazy. What we've gotten so far with all 6 episodes, again, I love the simple fact that I never thought that I would care about so many characters all at once. I never thought that I would gain a hatred for certain characters in a good way, that it's a build up to that, these people, these individuals are crooked. But the most important aspect about Andor that I'm seeing so far is, bro, I can't trust the Empire. I can't trust the Rebellion. For shit.
Anybody.
You can't trust anybody, bro. Because it's surrounded
by dangerous people.
Yeah.
Dangerous
I think
people.
I think the Mandalorian in the sequels try to do a good job of showing how dangerous power is and what the Republic does with what the rebels do with power once they have it, how it's not so easy to be righteous when you're in control, is sometimes it just comes with the job. And I think that always seemed like something that happened once they got the power. And it's kind of glossed over that despite the fact that they, of course, had many, many reasons and rights to, the films that we grew up with, we were rooting on terrorists. Like,
Yeah. Yep.
kind of what we were, what they are. I mean, with a good cause, but by definition, and we were getting to see that stuff didn't just, happen with a petition to like, a peaceful protest on a bridge or something. It happened with a lot of political moves, and we got to see eventually that the rebellion was a lot more than a few people in X-wings taking on Death Star. This was a whole coalition, and it didn't happen overnight, and a lot of hands got dirty in the process to get them where they were. And seeing Luthen basically be light side Palpatine is phenomenal.
It is
exactly right, Vinny. What? That's a great point. Great point.
It bro, like there is no trust. I mean, you're and you're seeing why Saul Guerrero is so crazy, like literally. But it's bro, like no one can be trusted, because the biggest thing is that everyone is looking out for their own best interest. What's invested in the cause for the actual rebellion is that level of freedom. But of course, we know with that freedom comes a level of restriction. So it's freedom with restrictions. Like, okay, you can be free, but you still have to follow these particular guidelines. And if we don't think that you're abiding by the level of freedom that we're allowing you to experience, then we can't trust you. With the Empire is, we're granting you a level of freedom under a level of dictatorship. But sometimes that forceful nature is something that's needed. What does that says so much about modern times? Is crazy, but it's insane how you're viewing it, and you're looking at it from so many different aspects. This isn't the galaxy that I'm familiar with, but I love it.
but what you see is a repeat, not a repeat of, but a rehashing of history on this planet. Because all this is if you really look at it, all this is World War II.
Yeah,
this is what this is. This is what this is, because this is the first time Star Wars has used an established language in one of its movies or programs. They were speaking French.
Yeah,
they were speaking French.
That's what it sounded like.
That's what it was. It was supposed to be French, and these people are French resistant fighters. That's what this is. That's what this is portraying. In this part on that planet, not all planets, but on that planet, that's what this was.
Yeah.
So it's very interesting how from day one we've looked at this fantasy and this is world, and this whole galaxy is like, wow, this is great, but none of us were ever really thinking about what was the underlying issue.
Yeah, it's like you think
until this show came out.
It's literally called Star Wars. Exactly. We root for Darth Vader. We think it's one of the coolest characters. He is a genocidal maniac. The amount of people he has killed, the amount of people that died on Alderaan, and we just it goes by in the blink of an eye. We don't really a lot of people died. The amount of people that died on the Death Star. The amount of people, there's the sheer amount of people that are dying. And we just never, Uncle Owen and Aunt Beru and their fiery end,
no hesitation of killing two old people. Just
the Jawas that got shot up. You stop and think about it. You're like, oh God, this is kind of rough.
Just rolling over people it's crazy, man. It's crazy.
Mon's troubles are continuing. She's back after the wedding, and now there's no way she's not going to be affiliated with Sculdun, so she has to go to these parties and save face. And I think all of us were not surprised to see even the Gorman senator say that he was not going to vote against the emperor. And we kind of knew at that point that it was pretty much over now. The Senate is never going to support Mon. And if I were her, I would watch my back even more, because she can't hide that she's upset anymore. She's gripping and holding on to the desk, and just, her face is down, and she's put on her as strong as she can to be cheerful and happy. But this is perfectly when she goes to Skulden's party and they're in that hall when they're looking at those collectibles, and she just is like, I am not going to lie to this guy. I'm not going to lie to Tarkin and pretend that he, knows the truth. I know the truth, and I'm not going to just go ahead and do that. So she was a little snarky towards him, certainly at a party with a lot of tension, the best kind of parties, the best drinks, the best dressed. And my goodness, I would love to have been there. We were there, kind of, sort of. Yeah. But it was very tension filled. And Mon cannot walk back and pretend like she is a team player. She can never do that now. She's gone way too far. And I'm wondering how Perrin is going to come out in all this, because we already know what happens to Mon, but what will happen to Perrin?
It's like literally, I was watching Mon, and again, amazing. I mean, she is killing it. Like, literally, it's a side of Mon that we never knew that we needed to see. We probably were always curious about her backstory. And I think they're killing it in that aspect. Like, they're doing such a great job. But again, bro, but how the hell here's the thing, and Star Wars did something that I had always been saying in the back of my mind, and I've always been wondering, and they kind of did this subliminally, bro. I always thought that Jimmy Smith and Benjamin Bratt, I thought they were related in real life, because they always reminded me of each other, bro. Like, literally, like, if you think about all the 80s films and everything that was, they were always like the two individuals that were close, like them and Lou Diamond Phillips, for some reason, were always lumped in the same category. But that to see him, and when Tony Gilroy explained it, it was perfect. He was like, what we wanted to do was, he was like, we really did want to, we tried to get Jimmy Smits back, but he was, pretty much involved in everything else. But how they basically brought in Benjamin Bratt, they brought him in, and he said, look, we wanted to give you just to bring him in so everybody can see him, have that conversation for a few weeks, like 2 weeks or whatever, and then just put him in there and let him work. Because then that conversation's already had, and you've already gotten used to it, and it is what it is. But it was like, it's the perfect switch out, like literally the perfect switch out, because I'd already been saying that for the longest time. But even like the exchange between him and Mon, it was almost like he was like saying, look, you're family, but this is what you accepted. You are in this now. Like, this is where you are.
You ain't getting out of it.
And you ain't getting out. I can only say but so much. You have to deal with this now. I'll talk to you later. I'm out. I already had a couple drinks. I came through, said hi. I shook some hands and smiled. It's your turn. I'm out. I'm going back home to my wife. I'm ready. Like, she's like, yo, babe, come on, you taking too long, cheeks. So I gotta leave. You know what I mean? So that's what it just felt like. But he was like, look, you family, if you need me, whatever. But it's almost like, yo, Mon, regardless of how you basically see it, and without initially the help of Luthen, because it's like he is mainly more so, he's looking at the cause, but also with selfish intent as well. It's like, yo, her whole world and just people's trust and belief in her is crumbling. You're not giving her an assist at all, because you're just focused on the cause itself. But you're trying to strengthen her. But what the fuck? What good is that doing, bro, at this point? So
nothing.
Oh, bro, I never thought that I would need this, but it is so dope. And look, Vinny, we've been talking about this for years. It's not all about punches and powers, man. We don't need that.
No.
Yeah, it's a fantastic leap of faith by I guess Kennedy and Disney Plus and Star Wars to let this show just breathe and build their character development the way that they're doing, without feeling like they necessarily have to flutter with action. I will say I think there was probably, more action at this point in season one. This is definitely even more deep diving in this season, but it might be something that's ramping up and will be more action loaded on the back half of the season. But I'm very impressed by their trust in the writing, in acting, and the set pieces, and they're letting so many other facets of filmmaking carry the show with, other than action, which obviously is synonymous with Star Wars, and they're just showing how much goes into those dogfights and those lightsaber battles, and how much of the world is moving pieces behind the scenes of all those things that lead to all those things, and the build up of the Senate and the rebellion and the Empire and all those different facets are just truly incredible, because there's literally thousands of planets, thousands of worlds, and this is so much different than because we compare it to what we know here on on Earth in America with just a few hundred nations, and they're dealing with thousands of planets with hundreds of nations each, and the amount of orchestrating that has to go into controlling a people when our president has trouble keeping its own people in line just here. So just imagine keeping a galaxy in check.
Yeah.
That's a good point. And, we hear them talk about how there's, they hadn't, when Perrin and Mon are talking, they said, well, when I came on board, I couldn't even give a ball except a few years later. And now there's like 80 new senators. And the first thing that I thought was, it's obvious that Palpatine made as many. Maybe he's made 150 or 200 new senators, how many ever he's made, so that he definitely is always going to have the vote in his favor. And I thought that was also very clever, because it shows that he also knows that he has to have the majority vote. He wants it to be completely unanimous in his favor, but there's always going to be some people who are going to fight back. And that was a huge theme about this episode, these few episodes as well, about the resistance with Dedra getting prepared for that, and the Gormans really just falling into this. But I think Mon, is suddenly realizing now that things are very different politically. And you guys were totally right about Organa running out of there. He couldn't wait to get the hell out of there.
He was like, I'm out.
He had to show his face in order to keep the charade up. But, he knows that things are going to get bad. And, I'm not going to say that Mon hasn't accepted that, but there still might be just this little hint of she's not preparing. It's interesting that we saw Clea and Luthen talk about, we have to be prepared if something happens. And I wonder if Mon has that. Does she have a getaway vehicle? Will Perrin be upset that they'll have to cancel their dinners? What will happen? Is she there yet? I want to see that Mon emerge, where she's like, we have to have that contingency plan.
I don't think she knows how deep she's in. I think she thinks she's like scratching the surface a little bit. Yeah. But she doesn't know how deep she's in right now. And I think all that's building up in her mind is like, man, I'm trying to talk to my people. They're like, he said, hey, I'm getting me a nice cold drink and I'm out. People bailing on me left and right. What am I going to do? Who am I going to turn to? Because she has nobody to turn to. No one.
None. But you know what? I gotta say this. Each week, and this is how dope they are about this, because I was talking about Dedra Meero like last week, and how much I love that character. But who else is growing on me, bro? And I'm just like, yo, this particular character, like this person is just like, she's a boss, bro. Like, she's a boss. She don't give a shit. She'll tell you off in a second, bro. Clea, bro.
Clea's scary. Do not fuck with Clea.
Scary, bro.
Terrifying.
Because, bro, like it's almost like even she shits on Luthen, and Luthen,
she reels Luthen in.
She goes in.
Like, man, come on,
she goes in, bro.
She don't play around.
Like, she's just that type of person in layman's terms that'll look at him and be like, you know what? Shut the fuck?
Basically, that's what she was selling.
Yeah, bro. Like straight up, you're in this. Like you did all of this. Now you got to see it through. Like don't. You know what I mean? You're asking for too much. Like sometimes your thirst for power and your thirst to be in control, you got to rear that back. Play the role. This is what you put us in place to do. Now we got to play this shit. You know what I mean? It don't matter how much the plan changes and things change. You got to improvise. We got to be prepared for it. And that's just the way she is, bro. Like and here's the thing with Clea, if Luthen if he doesn't have a person like her beside him, he'd fall apart. Like he would expose himself. Yeah. And I think that she is that quiet storm. She's that person that kind of keeps him leveled out, and he needs her for communication
and hey, Luthen better watch his back with Clea. If you want to go down to it, I mean, she'll take him out if she got to,
bro. She knows what it's all about. Yep. Like she'll be like, what?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, where are we at right now? What are we doing? Yeah. You know what I mean? Where's this conversation going? You know what I mean? So, and I felt the thing is, bro, I feel so bad. So bad for Vel right now, man. I did not see that coming this last episode, bro. No. I didn't. But that speech she made was dope as fuck. I wanted her to punch him in his mouth so bad, bro. So bad.
She wanted to cap him bad.
I was gonna say, I'm like, she's gonna shoot his ass. I know it.
I thought she was. I thought she was. Yeah.
Well, that previous arc that we had from episodes 1 and 2, 3, they really made it seem as if Cinta was walking away and she would never see Vel again. And Vel, crying in the corner, her mascara running down her. Okay, mascara was not running down her face, but crying in the corner by herself. And, I thought to myself, everybody else is enjoying themselves. And there's poor Vel. Should she hold on to this love that she has for Cinta? So I was very surprised to see not only did she see Cinta, but they both wanted to be with one another. And we saw, I love scenes. I love, their kissing scene was fantastic. I love all that good stuff. But darn them for making us watch Vel go through one of the most traumatic things of her entire life. Yeah. It broke my heart.
Yeah,
it was bad. It was really bad.
And the thing is, like the way she received it and the way she looked at the whole thing, like how she received, even when she watched her die, she goes up and she sees her. She wants to kind of break, but then she has to kind of level out and stay in control because
get it together. Yeah, pull it back.
Yeah, has to get it together. And that whole scene, it was like, it. The only thing that didn't make sense to me, and just correct me here, is that dude, he pulled out a blaster and tried to hold the one dude back.
Yeah.
But then in the end, the dude that they were trying to hold back ends up helping. And I'm like, what am I watching right now? Like,
what's the earlier on, what did she tell him? She told him only 2 people are going to have blasters.
Yeah.
Me and Cinta. So why did he even bring it? So I don't know, man. I was sad, man. I didn't want to get capped.
He literally picked a fight with someone who was on their side.
Yeah,
this guy who was he was just as pissed at the Empire as all of them.
Yeah,
and yet he decided to pick a fight with that guy and decided to play soldier. And let me pick up a blaster and play soldier. And look at what you did. That was completely avoidable.
The point was that these people don't know what the hell they're doing, but it almost made us more so frustrated that we weren't even thinking about that was the point they're trying to tell us, because it seems so random. Like they bring her back this episode after all this time just to kill her in such a stupid way, in such a
useless way,
and such in a fashion that just didn't make any sense. Like the whole thing just seemed so random and out of place. And I know the point was that this is what happens when you got amateurs trying to start a revolution without any leadership, to have no idea what they're doing. Hell, ironically, I mean, I don't think we even seen what was in the cases, right? I think the whole thing might be a setup from the Empire anyway to lure these people into an insurrection.
It was
definitely.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
just so that they can have the the right to come in and fuck them all up for their place. So it's oh man, it was just so stupid. Like, what are you doing? Why are you just firing for no reason? Just didn't make any sense.
It didn't.
Well, you remember like in what episodes 1 through 3 when Cassian was on Yavin and he was dealing with those bunch of bozos. Well, guess what? If they hadn't delayed him, he would have been back to save, his friends. Instead, he left that planet with one less friend.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because those people were screwing around on Yavin.
Yeah.
Aimless and fighting amongst themselves. Yeah. And he just wasted his time, and he did not get back in time to save everyone. And we lost Brazo.
And something else that's interesting. And I'm sorry, Penny.
Go ahead. Something
else that's very interesting too is that you guys already know I love like romance and love, and we are kind of seeing especially in these arcs that the love is still there. So they're still in love with one another. We also see Cassian and Bix, and they love one another. And for both couples, being with one another is as important as fighting. So I think to be able to at least see that aspect of love and in an adult manner, where they are, we can actually see Cassian and Bix holding each other's hand, like in a very intimate moment. And of course, the intimate moment with these ladies, I think it's so important for us to see that because we haven't seen Mon have an opportunity to have something like that. And I'm sure she, hearing her cousin tell her about this woman that she cares about, she must be wondering to herself, it's like, when is this? Do I have anybody who loves me like that? I'm almost hoping Perrin does love her,
I do too.
I'm almost hoping he comes through in the end and says, none of this shit matters. It's always been about you. You're my world or something,
he's too much of a selfish asshole who's playing the role. Like, that's just the way I see it. Yeah. He's playing the role. Like, he's playing, he wants to save face. He's already aligned himself publicly because he wants to look like a certain high, entity amongst like the Empire and his friends in higher places. You see that basically how he looks. Like, he always wants to save face to the point where he knows like there's something going on, but it's just like, it's like from the gate, he's never had her back. And that's the most disappointing part.
He's on the fence and he's playing. He's trying to see which way the wind's gonna blow so he can jump on whatever side is the good side that end up good for him. That's what he's doing.
And the final thing I was going to say about this love thing is that both couples kind of like are using their love for one another to push back against Luthen, right? Because, it feels as if, Cassian is like, well, something, you shouldn't be messing with Bix and you shouldn't be messing with, I'm taking care of her. You don't care about her the way I care about her. And the same for Vel and Cinta, who were kind of like, well, we can't allow the underlying message I got from them was we can't allow Luthen to just tell us that he can do whatever he wants with us. Our love has to come first. And I kind of like that, in a sense, because both couples have sacrificed so much point.
Yes, you're right.
Well, what is it Cassian said? He's like, we're not droids. No. We're not droids. And previously in episode, I think it was episode 2, when Mon is talking to her cousin, that, she's like, whatever, we get what's left. The rebellion comes first. We get what's left. Yeah. And Mon says, but we have to live in order to actually do this. Like, basically, like we can't do this just running on fumes. We actually do have to have some spark inside of us, some joy, some love, in order to actually have the energy to pull this off. Otherwise, we're not going to make it.
And that's the thing, bro. Like, I feel so bad for Mon, bro, because it's like she is trying, the way she is elegantly, really keeping her sanity and everything together is just telling for the character itself. But just how she has to, again, your family's falling apart. You're seeing the rebellion, push back against something that their attempt so far is failing. You right now, it's like, in a sense, unfortunately, her destiny is basically still tied to Davo because Davo controls her assets, which is fucked up. You know what I mean? And on top of that, as being part of the Senate, no one wants to listen to you. Like they don't. It's like, yo, a vote of no confidence in Chancellor Valorum all over again. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like it's insane. But what I do love about it is she's still holding ground and keeping strength. And as we know, it will evolve. She will get back. You know, she will gain the confidence. But it's going to take some time. It is going to take some time. But again, the Get Back. I'm sorry, the Get Back. I was waiting for it. I was waiting for the Get Back. And the only thing about the Get Back, bro, the only thing about the Get Back, it was too short.
It was. I was expecting her to give him some kind of speech, something to really bring home what he did to her, and that's what I was expecting. But
she cranked it up to 11. I think she wasted no time cranking that baby up as far as it would go and going. Yeah, it'll only seem like an eternity.
Yeah,
I think it was important that they had to do something in this case, especially since I think he was going to continue to train other doctors to do this torture process on other people. And I think that she was aware of that. There's a scene where they show where she can see another poor victim of the doctors, and the doctor is kind of like, I don't even know who this person is. And just randomly doing this on people. So she really, not only did she have to do it to protect others, but deep down inside, I know, like, as a woman, if somebody did this to me, I would have to make sure that they never did it to me again. So something would have to be done. I couldn't just let it stand, because if I were to ever encounter that person and they were to try to do that to me again, it would be unacceptable. So she almost had to do it to protect herself as well.
Yeah,
and she had to regain that agency. This person took away a part of her agency, and she had to regain it. Nothing soothes the soul like a little bit of revenge.
Yeah.
And it's like, here's a taste of your own medicine, and this will balance the scales. This will set things right, basically. Like, I can't move on until I rectify this thing, this wrong that's been done to me. I need to rectify this. And what better way to go, hey, now you get to try it. Let's see how and you know exactly what this thing can do because you built it.
You built it, and you got.
So that's why you look so damn scared. Is because I'm going to crank it up to 11, and you know what's about to happen.
And he kept saying, "I know you. I know you. I And she's like, I don't give a shit. You're going to take this. If you know me, then you know why I'm here."
Yep.
And I think now that she's got her revenge, she can move past this.
So you don't think so, Vinny?
No, she's.
I don't either. I'm with Vinny.
I don't think it's gonna fit. It didn't fix her entirely. No, it's not gonna fix her.
I think it was a little random that she just kind of. It kind of came out of nowhere where she found him, was able to get the revenge. It didn't seem like much of a effort to find him and get payback, and like it seemed a little easy. But that's beside the point. The point is, I think she's mentally broken, and I'm not sure that this does really anything for her, because every single time Cashin leaves, she's in a cloud, and
taking that whatever that drug is to kind of help.
When Cashin leaves, she's in a cloud, and when Cashin's there, she's a swirl, like a tornado of emotions. So there's no peace either way, and that's why that's why we see her using whether he's there or not.
Yep.
But maybe this was done as a part of a way to actually snap her out of that. Again, to have her regain some sort of agency. Like, he's like, oh, I'm going on this mission. And, yes, of course you can come with me. Well, this was the mission.
Yeah.
It's almost like a present to her.
But she's still taking the drug, and she's still having PTSD.
Well, we don't know if she's taking the drug after this, though.
But she's imagining the people are in the room with her and stuff. I mean,
that was before this.
I know, but
that was before this happened. So we'll see if this continues to happen in episodes 7 through 9. If that continues after this,
I appreciate the optimism. I hope she is better, but I'm not.
I think this is a tragic story. This ain't going to end well.
Well, it's definitely not. But I think here's my thing. My fear is that with this and the way she's done it, there's only two outcomes. Yes, like you said, the possibility that she could move forward and maybe snap out of it, or the possibility that doing this can make her even more reckless. Because and the reason why I say that is because she is using, like, this itself was self-medicating for her to get this level of revenge. So now that's only one aspect of it. Remember, she was also sexually harassed and sexually abused in that one scene. So it's hardening. She's more hardened now than anything, to whereas it could be a reckless an outcome. You know what I mean? Because you got to keep in mind, she killed the doctor. She caught a body on the outside that they left that body there and then blew up.
Oh yeah.
So now
this is going to make
they're looking for her. Yeah, they're looking for her
like
now.
Cold-blooded, because if you think about earlier in the episode when she had that vision, the vision of the person in the chair that the doctor was torturing was someone that Cassian had killed just because he saw my face.
Yep.
And she felt guilty about that. Like, oh my God, I don't know if this is something I can do. Well, now I think this is something she's going to be more comfortable with, because now she's just become a bit cold. She's a bit hardened by this, and it may make her, a bit cruel, but I think she'll actually be able to do the difficult things that need to be done, and not feel as guilty about it.
You know what is real fucked up right now though, is that in my head I'm like, yo, I know it's a torturous type of situation, but I actually want to hear what the fuck they're hearing. Like, I want to hear. I want to know what they're hearing that is driving them nuts.
See, I like not knowing.
Yeah. And
I'm like, what could it be? It's like, I don't know.
And what I like about it is there's no sound, and all you can hear is them petrified and screaming. That's it. There's no sound. Even the music drops out. All you hear is the person screaming. That's like the equivalent of how it is every time I go to Vinny's house during an event and he goes in the room and has to show a level of discipline.
I think it's
I think it's just different for every person. Like you put on the headphones, you just hear feet rubbing together.
There you go. Hey, I think it's the dialogue from Thor: Love and Thunder. I think that's what it is. It's the dialogue from Thor:
Yeah. No. Bro, that's that is dumb. That is so dumb. Wow. But yo, y'all said, damn. But
it'll only seem like an eternity, Leo.
Yeah, that's all you hear.
Man, oh man.
But nah, I like, but you know what, bro? Which is so refreshing also is to see Ben Mendelsohn get his shit off, bro. Because I think Andor is making his character more meatier, and on top of that, we're seeing how much of a horrible person and sadistic person he is, but with such, like, he's more of a threat than I think here than we even saw with Rogue One. Like, because again, we're seeing the development of what is to come, but this man don't give a shit. Like, he'll destroy an entire planet. He'll basically pillage an entire village and say, well, necessary loss.
And I was trying to do some research and figure out what the significance of this uniform is, because we've never seen that uniform before.
I think that one that he has on right now, I think it was just more so ceremonial for the party and to get together.
I was just wondering, trying to figure out what it meant. I guess it's just for the party or whatever. But we've never seen anybody, even when he was at the other. No, he was not at the other party. Yeah, he was. Wasn't he at the other party?
Which party?
The first one where Mons, he wasn't there.
No, he wasn't at the wedding.
Nah, he
Okay,
didn't go
was
to the
that
wedding.
correct?
Yeah,
Okay.
no.
All right.
No.
So yeah, I guess it is a ceremonial, to show that he's
Yeah, this is his
whatever.
this is his Met Gala look. He's going
Okay,
to the
got
Met
it,
Gala,
got it.
and this is him dressing up for the Met.
Well,
Yeah.
Oh, we'll be getting that probably in
Probably,
Bryce figure,
probably,
Oh,
bro.
oh yeah.
Yeah, they're
I mean,
supposed
let's see what Black Series has already done. I mean, Black Series does the figures.
Did they?
before,
They
so
did it
it's
already.
easy.
Oh,
Okay.
but that's what I'm saying. Black Series has been knocking out all the characters, bro.
Yeah, they have. Yeah.
Like they have really been going ahead, just giving
It's
us
half
all
the
of it, bro.
a quarter of the plastics. So
Yeah,
you
yeah,
can do that.
pretty much. They can, because it's you know what, and to kind of touch on what you were talking about earlier too. You see how the way they are humanizing, and I hate, because I love her, bro. I love this character. The way they are humanizing Dedra Miro, because even though there are like, it's so sad to see how they are using the fuck out of her man.
Poor Cyril. Poor
Cyril.
He is sacrificing Cyril, and
Big
Cyril
time.
wants it so bad. He wants to feel important so bad. And she almost feels, like she feels sorry for him when she says, "Oh, it's just good to see you happy." It's just like,
It's tough, bro, because
he
it's
wants
like,
it so bad.
yeah, and even like when he was like, "This is possibly the greatest day of my life," and she was like, "I'm so glad that you're happy," and we know that. I can honestly say that it was sincere when she said it, but part of her feels bad that she has to use him, and I'm just like, it's definitely not going to end well for him at all.
Oh no.
Well, she doesn't have his back, does she?
No.
I mean,
No.
it's pretty clear that he happened to conveniently come into her life at a very important time, and he's become invaluable, and she has to kind of pacify him a little bit, like with letting him come over for an hour and they can kind of like have crazy sex, and she's like, I can pacify him, I can satisfy this guy and keep him under her thumb. But I questioned when her boss had said, make sure you don't tell Cyril the whole plan. And I thought to myself, if she really loved him, like if it was her husband or whatever, she would have told him, right? She would have told him that. And we would have known by the look on her face that she would have told him. But yeah, I'm confident Cyril's completely in the dark, and he thinks that he's rising up. He thinks he's rising up and things are going great. Like he's got this positive attitude. But unfortunately, there is no room in the top for him.
Cyril's going to end. It's going to end up bad for Cyril. It's going to be bad.
Yeah.
Do you guys think Cyril's going to turn into go on the rebellion side?
Here's the thing. The crazy part is he's on Gorman.
No.
And we know the Gorman massacre, bro. Like he's on Gorman right now, and we know that he's being kind of coached by the rebellion there, or by their rebellion there on Gorman. And there's some part of him that is now witnessing the injustice, but he's so loyal to the Empire and he's loyal to Dedra that he trusts her every word in her direction. He's what we've established within 2 seasons is that Cyril, he will never have his own identity ever. Because he needs people to tell him. He needs to be he needs a certain level of gratification, but he needs to be a follower in order to basically have some level of acceptance. And that's the crazy part. When we
So listen, I'm gonna throw something in here. Like I said before, Dedra, her parents were, jailed and were criminals. We still don't know the reason why. How she feels about that, because she just said it. She didn't show any emotion about what was going on. What if Dedra was the one that turned to the rebellion instead of Cyril?
I mean, because technically what she is doing, and on some level she knows this, what she's doing on Gorman is not justice. Exactly. She does not want to get her hands dirty with this. This is not hunting down rebels. This is creating an insurgency for the purposes of exploiting this planet.
Yes, this is what I'm saying. When you're given an opportunity to show the Empire you're part of the Empire, and you don't want to do it, what does that tell you?
Yeah, like you almost feel bad for him, but then you're just like, well, you're an idiot, bro. Like you're just, you have no spine, no backbone, you know. And
his mother was right. You have no prospect.
His mother was 100% right.
She was.
I love the rebels on Gorman were like, and his mother's terrified. Because they're listening in, it's like, oh god.
Cyril's mother whipped those fools on that planet into shape. I can tell you that. You get him in line.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Pretty much, like pretty much. And here's the thing: is like, also, I love the simple fact that we're seeing Andor himself. It's like he's been groomed and he's turning into a Luthen character.
Oh no,
still with a bit of rebelliousness and frustration, but he is turning into a Luthen character in as far as his ways, as far as his disguises and taking on different personalities and stuff like that.
But he doesn't trust me. They were talking about Cassian and Bix and everybody. They had the drip going on. Everybody was, he walked all the shades on.
Yeah,
everybody was clean as I don't know what, which was kind of cool. I liked it. He's trying to play a role of a, this sophisticated
fashion. What do you say? He said he was a fashion designer.
Yeah, exactly. It's crazy, man. But listen, we got to get to Saul, man, because Saul said I'm crazy. And Saul knows he's crazy. He knows it.
The Rhydonian, it's his sister.
Yeah, yeah.
Bro, when he said that,
breathe it in. It's like,
no. And we know that Rhydonian, like, that is the reason why he's absent. But here's the thing, like if I just basically see you murk somebody who you thought was a spy, or you were correct.
No, he knew what he was doing.
Correct. He knew what he was doing.
Yeah.
Dude was definitely a spy, and they murked him. You know what I mean?
Oh.
But
was he really a spy though? Because I thought they just
he was
stuff on him. But was he really a spy?
He was.
Because
okay.
I think he told him the location, and then noticed that the Empire was there waiting.
Went to there, they went there waiting for him.
So that was how he deduced it. So
because he really did want that location. He's like, hey, I can do this better if I know where we're going. It's like, oh, okay, yeah, I'll tell you where we're going.
Yeah, that's the thing. And it's like, you would think,
lies,
again,
deceptions. Every day, more lies.
Yo, that shot when they panned around and showed his boys, it was the most iconic group bounty hunter shot since
it was.
Getting on the
it was.
I had to pause it and rewind it back, and I was just like, look at this.
It was cool. It was
that
cool.
Part, and following up on, just to add to what you said, Vinny, when all the ships pull away, and then it's almost like you're on one of those ships. Following them, and then there's one scene where it goes into hyper. It feels like you're going with them. It did.
So,
listen,
this show, most of the ship scenes in this show has felt like you're at Star Wars in Galaxy Edge. Like, it feels like you're in the ship, blasting off with them. Like, you feel like you're there. The set pieces in the show, that hallway, they're so original and organic. It really feels like you're all these places.
Listen, I don't know who the cinematographer is for this show is, but they're doing an outstanding job. It's the scenery. Every shot looks beautiful. I mean,
nothing
it's
feels green screen. Nothing feels green screen. Like, I'm sure a lot of it is, but it doesn't feel like
it. Doesn't look like it. It's outstanding. It's outstanding.
Yeah, like they're pulling it together so well. And here's the thing: is like, I still hear people talking about the unfamiliar territory, and it's so far removed from Star Wars. And I'm like,
but
that's because you're not looking hard enough.
It's not pulled away from. It's not even.
It's not.
It's nowhere near pulled away from Star Wars. This is what Star Wars is. This is what it's about.
Yeah. Yeah,
These are the details of Star Wars. These are the details.
Like every detail that needs to be told. It's not as far removed as you believe it is.
And what I think people just don't want to think and don't want to immerse themselves in a backstory that should be told. Should have been told a long time ago. That's what's wrong with people. Like you said, they want the flying ship, the lightsaber battles. They want all that stuff. This right here is the most compelling story Star Wars has ever
told, bro.
Doing a great job at it right here,
bro. Like it. And here's the thing. Like I've been going back because this reminds me so much of Chernobyl. Have you ever seen Chernobyl on HBO?
Oh, that's a great series on HBO.
It's a great series, bro. Great. And the thing is, when I go back and I look at that and how strategic, like, because again, like you're caring about these characters and the people that are placed, and that's the same thing that they're doing here. We're on a journey and we're seeing the political aspect and the tyranny, that's been thrusted over the galaxy. And on top of that, they're about to build a super weapon that is completely going to rule. You know what I mean? So we're seeing like the beginnings and getting to that particular point. And I love that. I'm one that is always on board for jargon. I like to hear conversations. I like to hear that jargon back and forth with these individuals because it lets me know so much more.
Let me just break it down to the smallest thing. What did the first movie start with? What was the connecting fiber of what the movie started with and what this is telling? It started with looking for plans for a Death Star.
Yeah,
that's where it started at.
Yeah.
So why wouldn't you want to know
what happened before?
Yeah. Why wouldn't you want to know that?
Yeah, like it's everything that you need to know. Yeah. And before we get to the other aspect of it, but I guess, and that's why Tony Gilroy was like, I'm not one who's guided by member berries. I want to tell a story.
I'm glad.
And the story is basically, the story that I'm telling is serving the narrative. It's serving everything that you basically saw in Rogue One. There was something behind that, and we know where this is basically going. Like I was sitting there watching the other day, and I was like, "Damn, I forgot that Cassian's going to die. Like he's really going to die. Like I'm like, yo, and Bix is nowhere to be found in Rogue One. Luken's nowhere to be found in Rogue One. We don't know what the hell happened to Deidre Merrill at all.
Don't know.
You know what I mean? Like nothing. It's like half of these people that we're watching right now aren't surviving.
No.
You know what I mean? So it's or if they are, we don't know. Maybe they're in, I don't know, one of the Star Destroyers that got destroyed during the war. I don't know. We have no idea. You know what I mean? But it is. Oh man, I'm really enjoying it.
They did a good job too, Lael, with this picture that you have up with Dedra, and in particular in these episodes, it feels as if she's under an enormous amount of pressure from command now.
Yeah,
so she can't be in a position where she doesn't deliver, and she keeps her cool on the outside, but inside you just know she's like, the gears are turning and calculations, and she's like, gosh, I sure hope they strike back. So when that scene, which many of you recall, where the blaster shot happens, occurs, that's when, I think she has this easement where she's like, good, now we can go forward.
Yeah.
But she doesn't smile. She's very like, and her boss is like, all right, go ahead, full on with weapons or whatever they decide to do. But she just is so she keeps it inside, but you can tell by this intensity of, look on her face, and with her peers who are kind of like, looking at her and maybe even wondering why she always gets singled out. I don't know whether she's someone's favorite or what the story is. In addition, to everything else.
Mhm.
You know, they kind of don't like that she has that assignment, and you know, she's trying to plug them from information. They're very, very competitive in this group.
Oh yeah.
But this is going to give her a leg up right now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the thing is, because everything that she said, everything that she explained to Krennic, you know, you need part of the resistance to do something extremely bad. You know what I mean? You need that. You need that to basically work for you, and that needs to be publicized. You know what I mean? So that's going to give you that leg up. And bro, I love Deidre Merrill. I do, and I'm not supposed to, but I just love this character and how she is. Like, you know, even all the way down from the fake smile to the mom itself back in those episodes. It's just
but see, that's what Star Wars does to you. It makes you appreciate and like things that you shouldn't be liking. Like you shouldn't like the Empire. Like X was saying earlier, we love Darth Vader, but Darth Vader is evil. Darth Vader is a cold, calculated killer. He doesn't care. I mean, but we love that. And if you look at the Empire is evil, always has been and always will be.
Yeah.
But we like to see the dichotomy of good against bad. And then you look at the rebels, and you were like, man, the rebels are not what we thought they were.
They're not polished.
No,
they're not as polished as we believed. It's not, you know, we're not looking at like the battle between good and evil. We're looking at a battle between divisions that we're not sure about. No, we're not sure who to side with, because what the Empire has shown you is occupation. That people are just basically working. They're working because it is an occupation. It is a job. You know, we don't often side with the regimes of something that we're working for, but it's money involved, and you got to raise your family. You got to feed your family. The rebellion, that's just like funding. You know what I mean? Your cause is basically being funded by privateers. You know what I mean? So you don't have a say in that aspect. Now, my only thing is, so this show is the one thing that this. Okay, let me ask you a question. We're watching this, right? It's from season 1, season 2, and what we know about this, the OT, the original trilogy. It's like we're moving from modern times. Like everything looks so modern here, even the music.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Bro, we're going from EDM here to like in the beginning of fucking, which clearly we know. We going from EDM to once we basically see New Hope. The 70s music, bro.
Things was looking pretty shabby in the New Hope. Yeah, everything here looks nice and clean and pretty. But remembering the prequels, everything looked nice. You know, Coruscant was really, you know, happening and everything. So I don't know. You're right about the continuity of way things look. I agree with you on that. Yeah.
But that was I don't know if it was canon or if it was in a book or something, but somewhere along the line, I always remember that being explained that it was because the Emperor put a chokehold on technology, like the Dark Age, like burn books and burn technology. I'm almost positive that was in one of the books, one of the stories somewhere, that was like kind of a way to explain why in the original trilogy everything seemed so much more Dark Ages and backwards is because
makes sense.
The Emperor has throttled technology to kind of control people, because obviously, you know, the dumber the population, the easier they are to control.
There you go.
The Emperor is in kind of like full strength here, so it would be active here. So I'm not sure.
So you're stripping away the opportunity to have certain resources, and which kind of.
That makes sense.
Yeah, because if you think about it, if you have like a fascist government, it's sucking all the creativity and individuality out of the government, you know, out of your people, and you're replacing it with
art. They want people in factories just churning up.
There you go.
They don't want people doing things. They want stuff mass produced, and we don't want original thoughts. We want imperial thoughts. And it drains the color out of the galaxy, and everything starts.
There you go.
Right.
And
we see that here because, and you even see that in things like using prisoners instead of droids. Like you want the people just working, and focused on just factory work and not creating. Because, you know, the more you're at your job, the less you're thinking about what's happening in the world.
Exactly. Or rebellion.
And despite all of this, I would give anything to be in the hottest ball of the year, the Imperial Ball, guys. Who do I have to know to get into that? Do I have to turn to the dark side?
I think you have to know Anna Wintour in order to get into that.
Look, I tell you this, Mon has a lot going on, but one thing she doesn't have going on is being too busy to pick out wardrobes. Because
oh no,
bro,
she stay fly.
She stayed with the drip, bro. Mine, bro. Look, because I was looking at, bro. Her drip is just like she is
immaculate, bro.
Always like she's staying something, bro. Like it's like I don't care.
Bravo, Bravo.
He looks like she took
glamour here in Star Wars.
I don't know what the Sunday morning drip look like, but it definitely ain't this right here,
bro.
It looks like it took a team to make her look how she looks right now.
Yeah,
bro. And that's why. You know, when you look at this, and I'm like, Perrin, do you know who you got? Do you know what you got, bro? Bro, like if
you don't.
Literally,
Perrin's too busy slicking back his hair.
Exactly.
Punk ass dude, bro. I'm like,
exactly.
What? No wonder. Come on, man. Stop.
Looked out, hit the jackpot, and he don't know what to do with it. He has no idea.
Bro. No wonder Take Homer was like, yeah, I need to. You know what I mean? I know we friends, but you know, you have your friends.
Luthen was like, you know the number.
Yep.
We'll find a number. You know the number. Come on. You know the number.
Hey, you know what? It's almost like, yo, I'm just sitting up thinking, I'm like, who would be the two individuals that I would send to this function, to this party? I would definitely send you there because, again, you would mingle. But I know the undercover dude that would be able to sway people would be Press X. I can hear him now like, nice party, nice function. That's great. These here are crazy as fuck. I'm going to milk. Everything is okay. It's fine. Straight up. Because, bro, you got to admit, you know how to mingle. You know how to mingle.
Just work in the room.
Vinny would supply the pleasantries. You see him in the
Vinny passing out the little vials of drippy drip stuff.
Yeah.
How
did I wake up here?
Vinny would come in. Y'all ready to sweat till y'all stink? He's ready to drink. Ready to sweat till y'all stink?
Oh man! Oh my goodness!
He would show up. I hear.
You're right.
Hey, we hear tale of the party.
Me and Press X to mingle.
Y'all mingle. Y'all got it.
I certainly would want to hear a little bit, although it's not necessarily covered in the show. I'd want to hear a little bit of the real gossip of how, you know, the women, the elite women on Coruscant, what they're really thinking, because we know they're just putting on a show for the Empire, right?
Yeah.
I want to like meet up with them for some cheese and wine, and we'll watch Star Wars, and they can tell me all about what's really going on. But Mon is not like that. She can't do that. She's not able to do that. No one can trust her because she's alienated herself. So there would be no way for her to kind of feel the crowd or understand how the underpinnings, you know, like as we said, when Organa left quickly, you know, that's the underpinning. It's like everybody showing up to these parties, smiling and getting the hell out because they don't necessarily want to show their vulnerabilities. So, but if I were there, you know, I would have Mon's back. Bella's not in town. Don't worry, Mon. And
Vel right now is just already dealing with her own thing. But it's just like, Luthen is a straight up home wrecker, bro. Like straight up, like he is separating families. He's getting people killed. All the while he's putting a wig on and just playing the role, bro.
No,
like, it's insane.
So did you see the 2 Easter eggs in Luthen's store? Anybody see those?
Padme's head dressing,
Yes.
and also Plo Koon's mask that was
There you
there.
All right.
You see, there's some Mandalorian armor there as well.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Indiana Jones stones are in there too.
I know. They always got to have something from them. He always
if I
does
went
that.
shopping in that store, I would love to go in that store. But if I had to go pick up something before going to Mons or something,
Bring her a gift. Bring her a nice little gift. Okay.
Yeah, I would go to the store, pick up something first, like a little housewarming, or thank you for inviting me. I would definitely pick up one of those holocrons, either the Jedi, or I buy one and then keep one for myself. So those would no longer be available, but that's what I would pick up.
Bro, like straight up. And the thing is, just like when you think about it, those same pieces are there that we saw from season 1, which leads me to believe this. Them motherfuckers is expensive as shit. Ain't nobody trying to purchase them motherfuckers. Like, yo, y'all charge them way too much.
Well,
nobody's got the credits.
To be honest,
way above market value. Like that shit's expensive. Like, how much you want? Oh, just 4. For what? 4 billion parsecs.
4 billion.
What?
Imperial credits.
I got that money. I ain't got credit. You what? What you think? We're still sitting there collecting dust. Y'all have any markdowns or stuff on the weekends? Like 5% off?
It's like those jewelry and purse stores at like the casino. You never see anybody in there. Never see anybody.
You never do. You never.
High-end room, Vinny. Nobody's ever in there. You're right.
Nobody's ever in there.
Well, he goes in there to collect, to continue to improve his collection, because he has to do that because he's a gangster and he wants to kind of legitimize himself. So he has to have the most impressive collectibles. He bought that Chandri Merle that cost like more than Mon's house. He has to prove himself to society, because his ultimate goal, is that he wants to be accepted by the upper class in Coruscant, but
tear it down from the inside.
Yeah,
I don't know whether they're ever going to accept him, but they'll tolerate him as long as they can go to his parties and the Empire doesn't kind of like throw in a bunch of police and bash up the place,
Yeah.
But let's see how he turns out, because I'm not quite sure whether he's going to get what he wants. He was very upset to learn that he had some collectibles that might not have been the real thing. And that also makes him look very foolish. From his point of view. From anyone else, no one would care that you had, it wasn't real. Okay, you'll just get another piece. No worries. But for him, he feels like people think he's ignorant and he can really set off from something like that. You saw how upset he was. It's very hard to predict, like what might or may not set him off. And that makes him even more dangerous, because he could care less about the rebels and stuff. He just wants his image to look good. He wants
all about money.
He wants to strut his stuff.
He he has to play that role, because again, some of that money that's being, that he's bringing in, we already know is being laundered, but also we know that it's going towards the rebellion.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, the thing is, when you think about it, all that money that they gained last season, I'm like, okay, where's this shit at? And who has it? And where now? I know they're going to use it to basically establish, the rebel base on Yavin. You know what I mean? So, because that's definitely where we're headed. You know what I mean? Where we're going. But it's like, damn, like they've been throwing party after party. Like, who's like, you know what I mean? It's like nothing but parties, man. That's all I'm seeing is party. Like, this mingle with the best of them. Let's just kind of rub elbows. And that's the thing, is the way Luthen is doing it, strategically people are placed. We have Mon Mothma, who is the face. She's the face. She's the senator. So you have to place her amongst that particular crowd. You have, Cassian, who's the spy, or who's basically someone who he sends out there to get his hands dirty and stuff like that. And then he has an inside man, and he has a couple of assassins. So everybody, and now he's just brokering a relationship with Saul Guerrero, knowing he's crazy as fuck, trying to create he's like
Saul's whack.
Yeah, bro, like Saul is crazy as a like seriously. If Saul, if Luthen came up to me, he's like, yeah, so I have this plan. I need you to go to this, place, whatever. But you're gonna meet up with Saul Guerrero. I'll be like, man, fuck, I'm out. Peace. I'm not doing that shit. Hell no. Somebody else. I'm not going. I am not going. I quit. I'll be like, I quit. Sign me back up. I'm going up. You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't.
Maybe the Empire ain't that bad.
Yeah, bro. Like the Empire is not that bad.
When's that next party?
When's the next function? Hell yeah! I'd have put my.
I got some new clothes I want to try out. Let me go to that party. I'm not.
Yeah, bro.
No. Saw Gerrera is the only one with clarity of purpose.
Oh man, last time I went over there, he made me vape poison. I ain't going over there.
Now we know why his lungs are all messed up, and he has to use that breathing mask in Rogue One because
formaldehyde, man. Pick somebody up.
Bro, the start of the next couple of episodes, you know, they do like a time jump, like a year or whatever. You're gonna see what's his name, Gilman, or look, is that what's his name?
No, it's Wilmon.
Wilmon. Bro, he gonna look like a mini Saw Gerrera, bro.
Saw
You have gray hair.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow.
You got any more?
Yeah, you got some more of that, bro. White lips and everything, bro. Powder donut lips. Yeah, nah, bro. Like, there's no way in hell I can listen.
But
yes,
like Liao, what made Wilmon, and gentlemen, what made Wilmon take the mask off?
I mean, he was what made him throw that bomb. And, like he was primed for this.
I think he was trying to prove to Saw that he was in it to win it. I think that's what he was trying to do.
That too, but he's aligned himself with a cause that he actually believes in.
Yeah.
He believes
that's what he was doing.
Yeah.
I mean, I think he likes the way that Saw does things, and the way that Cassian may be doing things may be too slow. Just like, you know, the Rebels, they all have their own. Like in Rebels, when what was it? Ezra was seeing how Saw was doing things, like he's getting results, and Mon Mothma's like, "You're doing things too slow."
Yeah,
and they don't see eye to eye. But in reality, it's like, well, Saw is participating in urban warfare and disregarding all of the rules of war. And Mon is just like, no, we need to be disciplined, otherwise the people will turn on us. Yeah, we need the hearts and minds of the people. And Saw's like, by any means possible.
Yeah, any means necessary.
By any means, bro.
By any means, exactly. By any means, doesn't matter as long as we get it done.
Yeah,
and that's the thing. Like even like, cause when Cassian came, you know, he was like, "Yo, you gonna come over my house? You gonna talk to my woman, and you ain't even tell me?"
Yeah,
you know, it was almost like Luther was like, "Who you think you are going to my house like this? Who you talking to? Yeah, like who you
talking to?
Who are you talking to? Do you know what you signed up for this? You said I should. Did you want me to kill you? Because you did say kill you or take you in or whatever. Like what? Yeah,
I'm running this show, not you.
Yeah, bro.
Man, don't be asking me no questions.
Yeah, and then you see Cassian leave after Luther told him off. He's like, just don't do it again.
That way down the hallway.
That shit again. We were talking earlier about, you know, we don't see Bix or Luthen or, you know, the characters we're not seeing in Rogue One. And what might be happening to Bix after her revenge. But that scene seemed to very heavily imply that Bix is in the way of Cassian being the spy that Luthen wants him to be. And it had very heavy tones of, if I get rid of Bix, then Cassian has no hesitation to do whatever I need him to do. Yeah. And with Bix in the picture, he's always going to prioritize her well-being. So that seems like a no-brainer to Luthen, and in my opinion, and
to get her out the way.
That doesn't bode well for her.
She's a liability.
Luthen doesn't want Cassian to be.
She's a liability,
and it's an attachment. Like you can't have this You can't have your cake and eat it too. You cannot have the best of both worlds.
But I love their love scenes.
Yeah, well, enjoy them while you can.
Yeah, because I don't think it's gonna last.
and she, you know, and he can't use her, so I can't use her, and she's holding you back. She gotta go.
Yep, we gotta go.
Yeah, and that's what he's setting it up for. That's why he didn't. Yeah. Because honestly, I believe that again, he's coaxing her to go do these tasks because it's a necessary loss for him. Like if he with the intentions to see her go, and that's it. You know what I mean? And that's why he was like, "Oh, so she told you? Then yeah, she disappointed me just as well." You know what I mean? Like, cause she told. So
Yeah.
Luther is just like, I gives 0 fucks.
He's willing to let Gorman go up in
man.
flames. Literally,
Yeah.
he's like, "Oh yeah, it'll burn bright." Yeah.
Yeah.
I was such a dope line because that was what that that kind of cemented he's just light side Palpatine. Like if it is necessary for this planet to burn, for everybody to be like, oh shit, let's rally, then so be it. Whatever it takes. And that is unfortunately the necessary evil that the rebellion is going to need here, because we're seeing like we've seen before, the Gormans and the people on that planet Cassian landed on, we're seeing a lot of unprepared rookies. And when we get to the original trilogy, we have a well-trained militia who who have intelligence, who have organization, who have bases, who have are hard to track. You don't have people actually, you don't have friendly fire and people cheddar bobbing themselves. Like you have a tight ship. And
Cheddar Bob. I just got that Cheddar Bob, bro.
They didn't get there by accident, man. Some dirty shit had to go down, and this is what the show is.
And listen, I mean, we know that this is not the only spy ring in the Empire. Luthen is just probably a cell.
Yeah,
Luthen's not the head, because you what is it, like 4 or 5 people we've seen? You can't run anything like that with just 4 or 5 people. So we know it's other people in other places doing other things.
Mm-hmm.
Now we might get to see that. I don't know, but just this small little cell can't be causing all this kind of havoc by themselves. There has to be more people involved in this. So
yeah,
but I love how important Gorman is in all this, because you have the Empire and you have Luthen. Both are playing chess, and the chessboard is Gorman. They are both. It is at play, and they are both moving the pieces around. It's like, okay, which is going to win?
Yeah,
if Gorman was a planet, I'm not going.
Is it because of the spiders?
You got hell yeah, because of them damn spiders, bro.
It's not even the spiders in the tunnels. Just this, he would be tripping out the spiders just on the street. Like you want to buy a spider, man? If you don't get that thing out my face,
get out my face, bro.
Get out of here.
Sit out my face, bro. Hell no. That's the thing. Man, that's the thing.
No, he said I ain't buying another one of those. How many did you buy, Cyril?
Yeah, he bought a couple of them, bro.
You were 30 years old. What are you doing buying toys?
He gave his mama a spider. Here, mama. Here you go.
He's like, oh, you shouldn't have.
You shouldn't have. Yeah.
Yeah, nah.
You shouldn't have. Oh,
they can keep that shit, bro. Like that's as soon as I hear spiders, bro. That's 2 things in Star Wars I'm staying away from: spiders and Saw Gerrera, bro. Hell no.
Well, yeah.
I would never go near him, bro. Like it's not gonna happen. But 2 Tubes, he sticks by him 100%. But here's the thing: Rogue One, 2 Tubes got off that planet.
Yeah,
he did.
Yeah.
He left.
Did Lael and I'm sorry, Tobor. Did Saw take care of Jin? Did he take care of her?
Did he take care of her?
Yeah.
No, I don't think he did. I think he trained her.
Okay.
That's the only thing that he basically did, was he trained her. But then once she became too much of a liability based on her affiliations, to her father, you got to go. And he just let her go by herself. He didn't give a fuck.
Because your affiliation is going to lead them back to me. And I don't need that. So you got to get the bricks.
Saul definitely left her in hot cars.
Yeah. Hot cars with the windows rolled up.
With the windows rolled up. If anybody were to get a CPS call on them, it's Saul.
Saul don't care.
Oh shit, you here? You probably need food or something.
Yeah, bro.
Saul left her in the Kmart parking lot. That's messed up.
That's it, bro. Left her by, and that's the thing is, like, I know that we're rounding out here with Andor, but I would definitely want to see a story of Jen and her relationship with Saw Gerrera. how she was trained, the
Yep.
things that she's basically seen and what she's experienced.
I'm all for that.
That would be super dope. I think
I'm all
that
for
would
that.
definitely.
I think it makes a lot of sense. The more you learn about Saul, the more you learn like how and why Jen is so skittish. Don't
Yeah.
feel like
Yeah.
something's wrong upstairs. Just I get it. Since Saul raised me, I'd probably whack the fuck out too.
Bruh.
Because
Whack.
you could see she was not trusting at all.
But
Yeah,
you see like how crazy the dichotomy, like how this basically works, is because you have Luthen who's been training Cassian for and grooming him, but you have Saul Guerrera who's trained Jen to be like such a radical, at this particular point.
Yeah.
And those two individuals coming together in the very end, having this such a tortured past and it's a tortured life. It just makes, the only thing is, in me and my selfishness, I would want Tony Gilroy to do that season as well. Like, because if you put such a story in the hands of anybody else, it won't work. Tony Gilroy he's built this world so well and made it so interesting, bro. It's like Uncle Keith, it's like the Dallas and Knox Landing of this era.
Whoa.
Only in space.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
You're right. They were both good shows.
Yep, it is a touch of Dallas and Coruscant.
You're right. I agree with that.
Because it's the struggle of power between different factions, families, and everything. You're seeing that.
I was strolling to that party like Alexis Carrington.
Yep.
Alexis.
Alexis.
Wow.
Damn. Because you might as well say that Davos is J.R. Ewing.
Yeah.
That's what he is. That's definitely what he is. So, man, I listen, bro. Like, for anybody out there who's saying, who's not really watching this show and who doesn't believe that it's just a master class in how you write a really, really good story. It's just incredible, bro. Like, I love the dialogue. I don't want them to kind of speed this up. The action's going to be there. We'll get to that point. But I'm so invested in each individual character, bro. Hell, it's so good, and we haven't even gotten to the reprogramming of K2SO yet.
Nope, not even there yet.
We're not even there yet. Like, you know what I mean? And I haven't thought about it. I've been so invested in what's going on right now that I'm not rushing to get to that point because we know it's going to come.
And what's another interesting thing that we saw in this arc was how different Coruscant was for Bix and for Cassian versus the rest of my people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a very different experience on Coruscant. It was not as enjoyable. They felt, she felt very closed in and it was not comfortable. And, I thought that was important to show that it's not all hearts and flowers in Coruscant.
No, well, you see how they panned out. They panned out for where they were staying in, and it looked like the little apartment building, the 1-bedroom apartment over on the east side of town where the railroad tracks run by, and you got gunshots going on outside. Yeah, that's where they live. So it wasn't good.
At least they're not staying in the lower levels, though. At least they're not staying in the lower levels.
There's a window,
Yeah, it is a window. Yeah.
The lower levels have windows. You just can't see.
Because remember, she said something about, I wish we could do something about these windows. And I don't understand what that reference was to.
It's almost damn. You know why? Because of the simple fact that every time she looks out the window, she sees the beacon, and that's when she knows that.
Okay.
You know what I mean? She doesn't want to be reminded that Cassian is being called.
Yeah,
he's being called, and there's things that
that's right. That's the signal to hit.
And he made sure that the room is facing that beacon where he knows everything that's happening, bro. Like, it's just
Yeah, I didn't realize what she was saying that for. And then
it's such a horrible system. I gotta keep remembering to look out the damn window.
Yeah.
I think it was like a Batman. I can't remember what it was, but there was like a Batman something where he's just like, oh yeah, it was the most recent Batman 1989 book that's like a direct sequel to Batman 89, where he realized he's like, I need a better system than looking up into the sky for the bat signal, because A, you can't use it during the day. B, I'm not always standing at this window.
Exactly.
But 1966 solved that whole problem. You had the bat phone.
Mind you, he's in the bat cave all the time. So if you're home, you're not even seeing outside.
Oh,
Yeah, you got to get Cash in a red phone or something.
Get him
Yeah,
something,
that's
bro.
what I'm talking about.
You,
Get
you
him,
don't
get
got,
him a burner. Get him some type of
you don't
burner
got
phone or
pages?
something, bro.
Hey, hit me on the hip.
Bro,
Well, you know how
something.
Luthen feels about comms. He doesn't like that. So
That is true.
maybe
No, you don't like you talking on the phone. He don't like that at all. No, he
You
gets
can just
upset.
page him 911, something.
Well, shit, he need to put like a letter on a womp rat and send it over there, bro. Something.
And a Mike Tyson pigeon over there or something.
Yeah, I mean, do something, bro. Like there needs to be a better level of communication because, damn it, what's going on right now? That level of communication, it's always suspect. Come on, let's just make it happen. Do something different. Ah, man, I love this show. I love every bit of it. I love the conversations that we have about it. I love the characters, and I'm gonna hate the simple fact that it's going to end. What we got? How many episodes we getting this?
2 sets of 3.
Well,
3 sets, 6 left. 6 episodes.
6 episodes
It may
left.
be an unpopular opinion, but I kind of wish these were 2 a night instead of 3 a night.
yes.
Yeah. I wish it was just mainly like a 2 a night scheme, but I understand and how he's telling the story. But I do wish that it was kind of like, this is Remember,
you have to wait until like 9 p.m. to watch them. I'm like, okay, let me try to get through 3 episodes in one night.
Yeah.
Not on the West Coast.
Night, but I'm like,
I've been
Not
doing
on the
the
West
West
Coast, you
one the
don't.
next day.
sucks.
6
Yeah.
o'clock.
Just drop the show.
West Coast, they watch that shit early as fuck. Like y'all got
6
time to
o'clock.
watch it.
PM, yes, sir.
That's some bullshit. We be waiting till 9 o'clock, and I gotta sit up and make sure because I'm sitting up watching and I'm trying to make sure Toy is up. I look over, she's asleep once we get through the opening credits, bro.
Man, it's late. Like I've been doing 2 by the time, and like unless you start it right at 9 and then like no breaks, you up to midnight watching this.
That's bad business out there. I agree with you.
It is. Look, I was planning on talking about everything else, man, but like I said, we knew 3 episodes deep was a lot to kind of talk about, man. I do want to talk about this though, because back in the theaters. Now it's back in the theaters right now. And the movie has made, I think it was like an estimated $45 million.
Yeah.
I think wasn't that? Is that right?
Yeah,
Yes.
it was the highest. Yeah, the highest a reissue movie has ever made in the first week in movie history. Yep.
45 million, bro.
$45 million.
Everybody's wondering why they aren't just doing this every week. Why aren't we seeing movies like this every week? Because people want to see these films in the theater. I haven't seen every film in the theater, but I want to.
Yeah.
I went to see this on Saturday, and it was. This looks so much better on a big screen than it does on my TV screen. Yeah. I had goosebumps just watching it the entire time. It looks so good on a large screen.
It makes so much sense on a larger screen.
And besides the print, it's a new print, so you don't have, because if you look at, because I had an old VHS of A New Hope. And I remember watching the TIE fighters flying, going like this, and you can see the blocks where it was like stop action going across the screen. That's how bad the print was. But now, they redefined it and done this stuff in IMAX and all that stuff. It looks beautiful. It looks great.
I'll take the block over the special editions any day.
Okay. No, I'm not saying nothing was wrong with it. I'm just saying you can see that.
I wish we could get the cleaner versions of the original version.
Yes, okay, I agree with you on that.
I want best of both worlds.
Yeah.
Like an official release, because I know you can get the despecialized, which I have. I have the despecialized of the original trilogy.
I just had the OG trilogy on the Laserdisc ports that they had as a backup version of the OG.
Okay. Well, what's the name?
Despecialized. They're pretty good.
Turner Movie Classics. They're having a festival for like a couple of weeks here, and the first one they showed was Empire Strikes Back. It was the original cut that he wanted everybody to see. So and that was the first film they showed. And then there's other films they're going to show, but he was the first person. He was there and everything, and talking about the film and everything. But it was the uncut original print that he wanted to be distributed, but it never was. It never was.
Yeah. And you know what? Right now, and I think I turned. I think today I was, just kind of doing some things around the house, and I put on Disney Plus. I think they started the network already. Like it's like on Disney Plus where you can they run just like Star Wars content all day. Because when I hit live now, I caught it in the very, like, almost in the middle of Phantom Menace. It was running live.
Oh, it
So,
was?
yeah.
Oh, I haven't noticed that.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's because they started the network now, like where you can watch Marvel content and you can watch Star Wars content. You know what I mean? It's a live thing that they're starting to do now on Disney Plus. Like you can just view in. I was like, oh, okay.
But it's really crazy though, man. Even though you can watch it on Disney Plus, I have it, on DVD or whatever, Blu-ray, blah blah blah. When it comes on TV, I still sit there and watch it on TV with the commercials and everything.
Yeah, hell yeah.
I don't even care, man. It's like
because that's how we used to watch it.
Yeah.
It's crazy, man. And that and the Indiana Jones trilogy, I watch that every time it comes on TV. So it's these movies are timeless, man. And sometimes as you keep looking at them, you actually see stuff that you didn't see before, which is amazing to me, considering how many times I've seen these movies. So
And the crazy part about it is now that we getting these episodes of Andor, and you're going into like Rogue One, you're going to view the entire trilogy, like the entire OT trilogy, totally different, bro.
And he's like I said, I know you've already said this, but he said you have to look at Rogue One after the last episode of this.
I can't wait to. After the last episode of Andor, I can't wait to watch Rogue One.
Yeah, we haven't seen anything like this since the Clone Wars. I mean, that gave us so much backstory.
Big time.
It really changed the whole series for me. So I feel the same way about Andor now.
Yeah. Andor is just everything. It's definitely everything.
If they were to do a live version of Clone Wars, with Anakin and young Ahsoka, that would be great. That would be outstanding if they'd done that. But we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll definitely see it. So I definitely can't wait. I mean, I'm so glad that back in theaters it did so well. It just made so much sense, man. And again, we know like the 50th anniversary is in 2 years. So we're gonna definitely, I think for the 50th, they're gonna go all out. They're gonna do
that. You know it. Was that the diamond? That's diamond, right? 50 years is diamond.
Yeah.
They're gonna go all out.
They're gonna go all out, bro. But I can welcome it. Anything Star Wars content, you already know I'm there. But yeah, man. Definitely, man. Thank you guys, man. We more to talk about. We'll talk about more of it like next week, man. But I am so excited about the space that we're in right now. With this Andor, the next couple of episodes we got next Tuesday. I cannot wait to basically watch it. I like how they're doing it, though. I like how they're doing it where they're skipping, ahead a bit, but I'm definitely excited about it. But yeah, thank you guys out there for actually, coming in and enjoying the show with us. Vinny, man, what you got going on, bro?
I am drawing my butt off, working on new pieces, and organizing and gathering up new stock for my next show at Fan Expo Philly. That's May 16th through the 18th. So I'm excited for that. Should have some new pieces for that and some different additions to the show that I'll be rolling out here soon that I'm excited to announce. And other than that, just looking forward to more Andor. Looking forward to just more Star Wars content. I do not take for granted that we're getting some amazing stuff here. And like I said, this is definitely a very unique and interesting take on Star Wars that we don't always get mature content, and there's a lot of people that whine and cry about the stuff that's for kids, and that's not for you. Great, this might be. So hopefully a lot of people give this a chance, because it's just really
embrace it, continue to embrace it.
Absolutely.
Man.
I got probably might have a little bit more Thunderbolts art coming soon. I just did Century Piece, looking to do some other show too, but more art on the way. feel free to check out my site on my IG at Vincent Art. Other than that, we'll be on Comic Book Talk with Friends on Monday to talk about that. And and everything else that we got going on in the comic book realm that week, and then back here next Thursday to talk about more Andor.
Yes.
Or, the next round of eps.
Yes. Cannot wait, man. Thank you for being as always. X-Man, what's going on with you, bro?
What's going on with me? I am the only one with clarity of purpose. Everyone else is lost. With the lies, deceptions.
Oh my man!
What is going on with me? Tomorrow night, I'll be on Victoria's Cantina.
Yes.
Which is going to be very exciting. So I'm looking forward to that. And then Sunday will be Collectors Lounge International.
Yes. Cannot wait.
And then Cheeks Day, of course, is next Wednesday.
It's been designated.
Say what?
A lot of cheeks.
And then Thursday we'll be right back here listening to that dope intro music.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, man.
Great. Thank you so much for having me. It's always great to talk about the Star Wars.
Yeah, you already know, always. Man. Definitely, man.
May the Force go with you.
Yes.
Always. Uncle Keith, man, what's going on with you, man?
Listen, man. First of all, let me say I'm so happy to be here with Press X. I don't know what to do.
Oh, thank you.
It's an honor and a privilege to be here, and I'm so happy. And of course, with Vinny and RM. What else? It don't get any better than this, okay? It just don't get any better than this.
Glad you're here, bro.
I love being here. You know that. Love talking about this. I love this show. I love it.
Hell yeah,
This is. I'm really gonna say this is the pinnacle of Star Wars right here. This is. I don't know how they can get any better than this. I really don't.
They have to find a way.
But this right here, you don't get any better than this. And like I said, I can't wait till next week so we can talk about some more Star Wars. I love it. It's in my soul. It's in my DNA. It's just coursing through me. I love it.
Yeah.
And go over to my Facebook, little cheesy Facebook page, and see the comics and the art that I post. And if you want to see that, I like doing that. It's like I said, some people out there that are really talented, and if I can acknowledge who they are, I will. But most of the times, the stuff that is posted, I don't know who the artist is. Yeah. But if it is, if I know who it is, I'll put their name on it, so you'll know who it is, and you go look them up. But that's what's going on with me. I'll try to be on Wednesday if I can. But I'll definitely be here next Thursday because this is right in my time slot. Yeah, and I appreciate being here. Love everybody here. And everybody out there in the chat, have a great evening.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you, man. Thank you so much for being here.
Yes.
And what's going on with you?
I got to get my headshots done because I had no idea they were going to have a Good Morning Coruscant segment in this. So I have to get my stuff together because I'd love to be in the next Good Morning Coruscant. But other than that, you will see me here again next Thursday, hopefully, to talk about the Emperor's Ball.
Yeah. Hopefully. More information on that, and let's the inside workings, definitely, or mechanism, actually what's going on, man. So definitely, thank you for being there, everybody out there. Thank you for being here on today's show. It's been great. Again, enjoy the content that we're getting. We're getting some beautiful Star Wars out there. Embrace it. And we'll be back to talk about it more so next Wednesday or next Thursday as well. But thank you guys for being here. As always, you already know what it is. If you can't do anything else, always stay uncivilized. But until then, we are out. Peace out. See you guys.
So uncivilized.